might be wondering what these are for.
Well, we're here to show you. These AAC devices are here to fit your communication needs.
Hi, I'm Big Mac. What's your name?
I'm Teresa, and today I'm going to teach you how to use the Big Mac. In order to turn the Big Mac on, you simply take this circular wheel and you listen for the click as you move the button. This also controls the volume. So if you turn it all the way to the left, that's the highest volume, and if you turn it to the right, that will lower your volume. Now, in order to record a message, you hold down the record button and the red button before speaking into the speaker. Here's an example. How are you? You release both buttons, and then you can hit the red button to hear your message.
How are you?
The Big Mac can also be hooked up to a switch, such as the Jelly Bean, or it can be hooked up to a toy or appliance, such as a fan. This is helpful for someone who might just want a simple switch to turn on a device and they don't really have the motor capabilities to utilize the typical function. You can customize your Big Mac by changing the color of the faceplate. So you can get green, blue, or yellow. Also, you can, for an additional price, you can purchase even more fun different types of faceplates, especially for different age levels. Now, someone that might use the Big Mac would be someone who has a low cognition, because you would not be needed to do a lot of language on this because it can only hold one message. Also, you would need limited mobility in order to tap the button, as well as there's a big surface area, so it does not require any fine motor skills. In addition, you might need someone to help you use your Big Mac, since the buttons are a little bit tiny, in order to record a message. So if your motor skills are not that great, then you could have your caregiver or spouse help you. It should also be mentioned that you can only record up to one message on the Big Mac, and this message can be up to 2 minutes long.
Hello. How are you? I love my step-by-step.
To use this step-by-step, this is how you turn it on. So you'd rotate it to the right, and to turn it off, you just rotate it to the left. This same button here controls the volume. So if I turn it all the way to the right, that's the highest volume, and if I turn it to the left, that's a lower volume. What's unique about this step-by-step is there's 3 different levels. Each level can record 3 messages, meaning there's 9 messages total able to be recorded. Here's how to record a message. First, you're going to hold down this black record button and make sure you hold it down until the red light actually turns on. That's how you know it's recording sound. There it is. Now that it's on, you press the red button while talking and hold it in the whole time. So, we'll try an example here. Hello. How are you? See you later. And then press it to stop the recording again. Let's see if it worked. In total, the step-by-step can record up to 4 minutes.
With the step-by-step, you can hook it to a switch in order to make it maybe more portable if you feel like this device is too big. You can also hook it to a toy or an appliance, such as a lamp, if you have difficulty turning those on by yourself. It's important to know that with the step-by-step, the levels each have different meanings. If your device is switched all the way to level 1, this means that your messages will be played randomly, and all 3 of your messages may not be played. For example,
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
This time, the step-by-step played the same message 3 times. If we do it again, it might change.
I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine.
Now we'll move the device to level 2. On level 2, It's the same as level 1, but a message won't repeat itself until all 3 messages have gone through. However, there is not a particular order to the messages.
I like peanut butter. I like pizza. What's your favorite food?
So see, all 3 of my messages I had recorded played on this level. Last, you can switch the device to level 3. On this level, it plays all of your messages in order, unless you rapidly tap the button to switch to the next message. You can hit it 2 to 3 times, and this will take you to message 2 or message 3. Here's an example.
When's your birthday? Mine's in February. How old are you?
As you can see, you have to rapidly tap the button, and this can cause you to maybe not get to the message that you want to. However, level 3 is nice if you want to switch to a different message quickly if you accidentally played the wrong message to begin with. Now, if you're using the step-by-step on your own, you would really have to have good motor skills in order to tap the button, especially if on level 3 and you're trying to go quickly. Also, these buttons here on the back are really small and tiny, so if you don't have the best motor control, this may not be the device for you. However, if you have a caregiver or a spouse who's willing to help you record your messages on this, then this might be a good device. Also, you can switch the button color if you have an easier time seeing particular colors such as yellow, blue, or green. For an additional price, you can purchase fun faceplates for your step-by-step, and this might be good if you are purchasing this device for a little kid or if you just want to spice it up. In regards to cognition for using the step-by-step, your cognition probably needs to be relatively intact. Since the different levels can store different messages and also switch between the messages in different ways, you might need that higher cognition in order to select the messages you want. Now we'll look at similarities and differences between the Big Mac and the step-by-step. With the Big Mac, you can only record 1 message, whereas with the step-by-step, you can record up to 9 messages because there are the 3 different levels. In addition, they are different in the fact that the Big Mac might be used in more of a hospital setting where someone needs to communicate 1 message and they won't be using the device for a long time, whereas the step-by-step may be used for therapy and rehabilitation when someone is working on game playing or direction use and more functional communication. Also, what we need to look at is how this only has a 2-minute recording time, whereas the step-by-step can record up to 4 minutes. Some key similarities between the 2 devices, though, is that they're both battery operated, and they also do have the ability to hook to a switch, a toy, or an appliance. So this can help you to use your device in another more functional way if you don't choose to need it for communication all the time. Also, there is the interchangeable switch plates, which allow you to do different colors. So if you have visual deficits, both of these devices would work and you can go with a color that suits your needs. And finally, both of them are just message recording devices, and you can have digitized speech for both of them, which means you can record your own voice and like the way it sounds, and you're not limited to content that is pre-recorded. And that's the main similarities and differences between the Big Mac and the step-by-step. So you really just have to go with a device that's going to fit your needs in the best way possible.
This is the jelly bean switch, and this is the soft green switch. These switches can be used with a high or low tech device to scan or select. The jelly bean switch can be customized to be different colors, and the top is removable with a simple twist. Here's an example of how to use the switches with the Dynavox Maestro. Currently, it's selected on this message, close. The jelly bean switch can be used to scan through the messages like so. And then another switch can be used to select the message. These switches make using high-tech devices easier for people who can't really quite grasp the fine motor skills needed for high-tech devices. So with a simple touch, you can select something on your high-tech device.
These switches are also helpful for someone who might benefit from tactile feedback or from auditory feedback. So if someone likes the touch that is provided by the green soft switch, then they would be able to use that and it would be more productive for them. Whereas if someone likes to hear that auditory feedback of whether or not their message was received, that would be why you would want to use the jelly bean switch. Also, your cognition would need to be in the zone of whatever high-tech or low-tech device you are using. So you're going to be using a device that's suiting your cognitive needs, and then these switches are just helping you to better utilize the purposes of that device. Now we're going to talk about some key similarities and differences between the soft switch and the jelly bean switch. It's important to remember that both of these are switches and they can be hooked to low or high-tech devices of your choice. So if you're having trouble using those features on those devices accurately and you want a better way to be able to select your message and get your point across, then you can use one of these switches. In addition, they both have a small surface area, so they won't take up a lot of space if you have limited space on your wheelchair or if you just have limited space in general. Also, they're both customizable in that the jelly bean switch can have the faceplate taken off and you can change the color. And there is also a red option available for the soft switch. Now, differences, the costs are relatively different in that the green soft switch at this point is very expensive because it's an older device, and the jelly bean switch is cheaper and is a newer device that you can find relatively easily, which the soft switch is harder to find at this point. Also, because this is an older device, your tech support may not be as good as the jelly bean switch, where you can go to the actual website and manufacturer that manufactures this and you can get your help if you need it. Another important thing to remember is there is tactile feedback from the soft switch because it is that cloth feel. So if you have a child or an adult who really benefits from that tactile cue when they're using their button, then you would want to use the switch like this. And from the jelly bean switch, though, on the other hand, you get auditory feedback. So if you listen, you hear that click, and that's the auditory feedback. So it can help you to know if your message has been received by the individual that you're trying to tell your message to. So overall, that's the main similarities and differences between the two switches, and both are really beneficial for various communication devices. You just have to find the one that suits your needs.
Disclaimer.
It is important to note that these devices here are not the most current versions of the Big Mac and the step-by-step. It should be noted, though, that these devices have not changed much on the new versions. The only thing that really has changed in terms of the devices is the actual appearance. The function, though, has stayed the same.
However, the soft switch and the jelly bean switch are the most recent versions of the two. Thanks for tuning into our tutorial today. Hopefully we provided you with enough information that will allow you to decide upon and know how to use the Big Mac step-by-step and all of our switches.
See you again soon!